Okay, folks, it's 9 o'clock. I call this Sawyer County Public Safety Committee meeting to order. Can we have roll call?
Ron Buchholz,
Present.
Mark Helwig,
Here.
Jeff Haney,
Here.
Marshall Savitsky, Jim Evans. You have a quorum.
Okay, pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, certification of compliance with the open meeting law.
This meeting was noticed to the media and the public as required by section 19.84 of the Wisconsin statutes.
Okay, thank you. Number 5, the meeting agenda has been presented. Number 6, public comment. Do we have anyone that wants to speak? Anyone online? Okay. Number 7, consider approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Evans and a second by Mr. Savitsky to approve the approval minutes of the previous meeting. All in favor, say aye. 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 All opposed, motion carries to approve. Number 8, I just found out now that we won't have circuit court judges report. So as of after today, it'll be taken off the agenda. Number 9, clerk of courts. Marge?
I do not actually have anything more to add other than the review of my report and answer any questions if you have any.
Okay. Yes, step up to the podium, please.
As far as for the judge's report, if there's something that the committee is requesting and would like them to come in and have a conversation with, you can. It was just brought to their attention that it could be like ex parte communication regarding cases or things that are discussed here that shouldn't be going into the courtroom. So if there's something that we want to have them at this meeting with, we can request that and they will come.
Well, I guess what we were kind of looking for is the utilization of how things are going in both courtrooms.
Okay.
Because, through this committee and the county board, we pushed a lot to get that. So we were just hoping that we could get an update on how that's being utilized in there.
Okay, I will bring that back and see if they can do something that way.
Yeah, because they don't have to do it in person. If they can get something in writing to Liz so she can post it on so these committee members can read it.
That like every month?
You guys want something every month or?
Maybe quarterly.
I guess we don't need it every month, every other month.
Okay,
And I know they're busy. I do. But I guess that we weren't aware that they didn't have to do this because ever since I've been on this committee, since I've been on the county board, it's always,
someone's always been.
someone's always been here. So,
Yeah.
okay, no,
All right.
every other month is fine.
Okay,
All right, thank you. So Marge, no comments on your Marge's report? Okay. Thank you, Marge, for a good report here.
Thank you.
Number Sheriff's report. Sheriff, you got anything you want to start out with? Okay. That was quick.
Yeah.
All right. Lieutenant Rapinski, we know you got something to tell us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You can see from the patrol report, our call volumes have kind of jumped all over the summer, kind of peaks and valleys. That's usually to be expected. We had a total call volume for our patrol deputies of 742 calls for service, which is down from where we were last month and also down from where we were last year, where we had 921. For August of 25, our deputies issued 61 traffic citations, 17 written warnings, and 11 non-traffic citations. And per community maps, there have been 15 total crashes, 7 with personal injury, with no additional fatalities. Bringing our total crashes today to 192 total crashes, 43 with personal injury, and 2 fatalities. We Of course, don't want to see that rise, but we are within the margin of our average years, so it's going as it expects. As summer winds down, our traffic bots grant is also winding down the end of September. We have struggled a little bit between ourselves and the other task force members of the Town of Hayward and City of Hayward Police Department to maintain those shift fills. We've been able to utilize our match hours from our on-duty deputies, which has kept us pretty good in numbers. But as we close out the grant, we'll have a final report then on the total traffic contacts we've done. I do anticipate that we will be forfeiting some monies back to the government, to the state government, for unused traffic shifts that were unable to be filled. Well, I've been meeting with the event officials for the Fat Tire Race. It's coming up September 13th, as well as the 47th Annual Stone Lake Cranberry Fest, which will be happening October 4th. We'll be finalizing our traffic plans and staffing for that. And I did mention last month, we did have some changes in staff, some promotions. We did finalize our rec deputy position that was vacated, and selected Charles Logan, who is a 22-year veteran with the Sheriff's Department. He's our SWAT commander and instructor on numerous things. He'll be taking that role, and all the other positions will be changing September 7th, and begin their new duties. So we're very excited to have that finally done.
Okay. Great. Any questions for Lieutenant? Okay, thanks, Lieutenant, you give a good report also. Thank you. All right, jail report.
Thank you. August, we seen an average daily population of 60 inmates, 8 of those being females, 52 males. Average probation incarceration was at 23. Pre-sentence incarceration at 24, and sentence incarceration was at 13. We currently have 4 on electronic monitoring. There's 58 inmates the day that this report was generated, with an unemployment rate at the time of booking at 66%.
Okay. All right, any questions for the Lieutenant? Thank you for a good report too also. All right, number C, code enforcement. Jazz, you're up.
Thank you. So this last month, the revenue for the animal control is low just because less dog licenses are being sold since we're so late in the season. And then there were not that many dogs entering the pound, which is a good thing. But with the ones that did enter the pound, the majority of them were reclaimed by owners. 2 were transferred to the Humane Society, and then 1 was surrendered. The majority of our calls were other calls, which can include like lost animals, anything about cats or other species, that kind of stuff. Overall, the call volume was pretty low this month compared to last month. And then with the stuff I'm doing with public health, still doing, the tourist rooming house inspections, but we're also, now that we're out of the renewal season for the rentals, we're looking at more of the ones that are operating without a license. So we're sending them letters, stuff like that, to hopefully get them all licensed and everything here pretty soon. So
No, okay,
that's it.
great. Any questions? All right, thank you, Jazz, good report. All right, number 11, emergency management.
Good morning.
Director Rapinski, you're up to bat.
Thank you.
You bet.
So the Sheriff's Office, County Administration, Gen Com, and Liquid Rate Legal Department met in August to discuss the radio equipment placement on the WOJB tower. We also had a special LEPC meeting to discuss the hazard mitigation funding update and reviewed the hazard vulnerability assessment. The Computer Hazmat 2025 grant has been submitted to assist the Sawyer County Hazmat team with equipment that they need. We did have Cops and Bobbers that was on August 9th, and it was a great turnout despite the weather. And emergency management and the Sheriff's Office are working together with LCO Emergency Management, LCO Police Department, and others to hold an active shooter tabletop at the LCO Tribal Government Building, as well as planning drills and exercises for the near future. And like last month, I'm just advertising the mass casualty incident responder training to be held in January. As far as dispatch goes, we recently hired 1 dispatcher who is entering phase 2 of her training program and doing very well. We also had a meeting with Rapid SOS Unite, which is a program that allows our officers and dispatchers to have real-time locations of calls when they come in. So the Rapid SOS map shows calls exactly where they're coming, and as callers are still on the line, we'll basically track them on the map so that we can see where they're moving to and where they're moving from. Another advancement in this program, which is a free program that we're utilizing currently, we now have access to put our Axon body cameras on that map as well, so we can see not only through the Axon app, but also through Rapid SOS, where our officers are inside of buildings, not just where they are on a map, but we can see when and where they are in the buildings. And if they're going right and we actually need them to go left because we know where the person is in the house based on their cell phone location, we can direct them directly to that person.
Good, yes.
The text to 911 deployment is progressing and coming together, still working with AT&T and Intrado, as well as the cell carriers in the area to make sure that it is working properly. And over the course of the last 2 to 3 years, our goal in dispatch has become more efficient. And with the team of dispatchers that I currently have, we have delegated several duties throughout the staff to limit burnout and enhance workflow, which has made it very successful. Calls for service for this year, as Lieutenant said, or for this month, are down from last year. 1,614 for 2025 as opposed to 2024, we had 1,824. We're looking at 11,147 calls for service so far this year. In the month of August, the dispatch center received 645 911 calls and 3,098 non-emergency calls, with a total of 3,743 calls taken in the center for that month. If you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see that there's a chart again for the calls taken and the calls per hour, with our busiest times being 9 a.m., noon, 2 o'clock, and 4 p.m.
Okay,
That's all I have. Thank you.
any questions? Nope. All right, thank you, Nicola, for a good report. Thank you. Okay, child support. Anybody here? Okay, all right. She has a thing on here for us to look at. Everybody looked at it?
Yep.
Any questions with it? Not? Okay, we'll go on to number 13, emergency services. Mr. Fremmel.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
All
talk
right.
to us.
Well, wonderful. Well, right now I'm actually covering a shift right now because we got a multiple sick calls. So excuse me for not being there. Right now, as you can see, we've had 1,200 calls so far this year. We're averaging about 10.6 minutes. It's starting to creep up, during the summertime due to volume of calls during the day. But we're still under that average of 10.6 minutes. If you can scroll down, then shows you just how the unit breakdowns are. As you can see, Unit 1 is still taking the majority of the calls, but we're increasing Unit 2's call volume too, which is a good thing, utilizing that part-time crew for the extra calls that come in throughout the day. You can scroll down from there. Here's your call breakdown for how many calls we get into what townships and what our average response times are to those townships. Hopefully when we get to our new reporting software, I can get it'll look a little bit better than that, but that's how I get it off Image Trend, and the calculations are as accurate as I can get it. And obviously anything that's outside of our county, like Barnes, those are intercepts with Barnes EMS, and anything that's a hospital based, that's just to and from for transfers, how long it takes us to get to the hospitals from Sawyer County. If you go all the way out of that, you can scroll down all the way out of that. We just got done with training the Hayward High School. They asked, Nicole sent us some communications from Hayward High School to do a Stop the Bleed. So Jim Onerheim, who was a Stop the Bleed instructor, and Eric Nielsen went there and taught their teachers a Stop the Bleed class, which they got a certificate for. It was very successful. A lot of teachers attended and got some good training just in case the unthinkable happens. They'll be able to assist with life-saving measures. And that was part of our community outreach that we did for that month. If you go out of that, then obviously we're being, it's football season and we've been doing all the home games for Hayward with a dedicated crew, and then winter, they ask us for a non-dedicated crew, so we've been able to both supply both Hayward and Winter with ambulance service just in case any of the athletes get done or get hurt. We've also done some other stuff for the Sawyer County Fair this last month, as well as the Great Northern Rodeo. We went up there, they contracted with us just to be a non-transporting crew, and some of our part-timers went up there and did some community outreach, plus had fun watching the rodeo. Pretty soon, the money that I had set aside for the EMR EMS sponsorship program is going to be coming to the end in January. We are trying to get one back in Hayward and working with Winter, but when the kids came back to school, the scheduling and stuff is kind of messed up, so we might be shooting at the second part of the year to try to get with them to do an in-school EMR program for both Winter and Hayward, and we'll see how that pans out. As I said last month, the medical examiner's reports, I broke down our deaths of what we got going on right now. Right now, the death motorcycle accident actually was from a couple years ago, but the patient actually ended up dying this year from that accident. And then I have 7 deaths that I'm waiting toxicology. Of that 7, 1 was confirmed after this report was written as a fentanyl overdose. So, plus I put down that, I started keeping track of my interactions of what I do with, families who call, insurance companies that call, other law enforcement agencies. So you can see that the medical examiner's office has had 300 interactions this year. And other than that, if you guys have any questions.
I have one question. On your report here, you have a Birchwood ambulance call 1.
Yep, that was an intercept we did with them.
Okay,
So,
all right. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. All right.
yep, you're welcome.
All right, any questions for Mr. Fremmel? All right, thank you, John, for the good report. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 14, Criminal Justice Coordinating Council update. Mike?
No update on that.
Okay. All right, number 15, the WOJB Tower update.
As was mentioned, we had a meeting out at LCO last month and it went really well. Working with the county on this upgrade is a priority for them. So we're still in communication with them. This morning, Gary from GenCom sent them specs on the requirements of the tower to make sure that it will fit in with what they have available for space. So we're waiting to hear back on that. Just keep moving forward on it.
Have they said, yes, we can use the tower?
We don't have a definitive yes. They were waiting on these specs to make sure it works with the other stuff they have on there.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer that's going to drag out. Do you, Margaret? Anyway. All right, number 16, board appointed committee updates. Anyone have anything they want to report? Okay, we are right. Number 17, correspondence reports from conferences and meetings. Nothing. Number 18, future agenda items. Anything the committee wants to see on the agenda for next month? Marshall, got a smile on your face. Okay. Mr. Evans, Mr. Haney, Mr. Helwig. All right. If not, no more. Everybody, thank you for good reports. We're adjourned.